Hey everybody, welcome back to Jeff Bull Central. We're doing a game review for you today. Saturday night's alright for fighting. It's Streets of Rage 4. Oh yeah. Anyways, Streets of Rage was a long-running Sega Genesis series, very well loved, very well respected. I really loved those games when I was a kid, especially Streets of Rage 2 and 3. Those were some of my fondest memories playing on the Sega Genesis, especially since they were co-op. It was a fun co-op beat-em-up.
Yep.
And so, like, a bazillion years later, check my math on that, I'm pretty sure it's a bazillion, we get Streets of Rage 4, which is like a cool, cartoony, modern take.
Yeah.
Still made by Sega.
Is it?
Yeah. Didn't you ever see the Sega logo on the beginning of the game when I turned it on? Where do you go?
I go to bam, 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 bam.
Yeah.
Hit.
Punch, 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 punch.
Focus.
So Carrie dear, how did you find Streets of Rage 4? What do you think of it?
Well, I'm gonna be honest to the world. Honestly, I was never into like these kind of games, like fighting games, unless you were going to the movies with friends. Like you'd go hit up the arcade.
Oh
and
yeah,
stuff.
yeah, like the Ninja Turtles or like what was the Marvel, like Spider-Man had one that was pretty cool.
Remember.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I don't know. Me, I did find it like some of them would just move slow. Where like this guy, like hopping with this guy, this big bulky guy.
Floyd.
Yeah.
He doesn't hop. He
He
doesn't
does.
hop.
You'll see me hopping, and you know, and he kind of moves a little bit faster if you do that. Because here you're just like taking a stroll,
So-
just strolling along.
That's actually a really good point about this game because, you know,
See?
back
Hop,
in like a froggy. Like a froggy, man. Back in the 90s, you know, this was the speed that these games were played at, but it does feel like in the year 2020.
Yeah,
I mean, it's like
slow.
it's like almost 30 years later. It feels kind of slow, except for this character, Cherry.
Yeah.
Cherry is kind of a cool character. She's a new character to the Streets of Rage franchise. She's faster. She kind of delivers quite a wallop, you know.
Well, this is like police brutality.
Yeah, police brutality for sure. Holy cow.
This is a horrible world.
It really is a horrible world. Anyways.
Going back to the point at hand.
So it's not like they're not changing up the formula at all from the originals. They've added quite a lot of new things, you know. There's new kind of super moves, and there's like a kind of subset of moves. If you press Y or triangle, whatever you're playing on, it actually does like a kind of a special move that actually gobbles up your health, but you can get it back.
Oh yeah, that was dangerous for me because like I am prone to like just push the button and then inevitably somebody would hit me and I'm like,
But
bam,
seriously,
dead.
look how slow they're moving across the screen.
Yeah.
Again, that's like kind of in keeping with the tradition of the series, but I feel like this game missed some opportunities to update the formula even more.
This was the fun part.
The Wrecking Ball?
Yeah.
Yeah, unless you were on the opposite end of
Yeah.
it.
We caught on.
Yeah. I never caught on because I kept wanting to whack it just to see what would happen, and it always kind of
Oh, I would whack it and then you walk away. You run away.
There, you
whack.
just shot it with your
Yeah.
super. Just
See,
then.
don't do that. Don't do that. You just whack it and then run away.
Yeah.
Whack it, run away.
Whack it and
Whack it and run away.
and whack it first, and then
Run away.
right.
Yeah.
So, I think that's kind of like the main thing about the game is that it does upgrade what you remember about it, especially visually. It's got this cool kind of cartoony style.
Yeah.
You may be in love with that, you may not, but I feel like it doesn't go far enough. I feel like it needs to feel more modern than this. Gosh, to compete with some of the things that are
Yeah.
out there. This was like a huge opportunity.
Like, think of like if you could play like Mortal Kombat or something like that. That kind of speed.
yeah.
Co-op.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I mean, it's not like other franchises, you know, I mean, but Mortal Kombat has had the advantage of having been iterized. Like, they've made so many different versions of it, and like, we really haven't seen this game in almost 30 years.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, your mileage may vary on that. Rest assured, it is definitely a very fun beat 'em
Yeah.
up site. It's still a lot of fun,
Yeah.
especially the boss encounters, and it's got this great thing where it's 4-player co-op. Couch co-op, online co-op, and you really do want to play this in co-op. Like, you don't want to play it by yourself.
Yeah.
It's just not quite as much fun.
I think all these games are fun co-op in a sense. Because
Yeah, and how much
they kind of
couch
stem from
co-op
like
do you get?
arcades. Like they're old arcade games.
So let's say you're stuck indoors under some kind of quarantine that might be going around.
Are we hinting at something?
Yeah, and say you've got 4 people in the house who want to play a video game. You know, it's a good choice. Plus, it's cheap. It's not a very expensive game, so you kind of can't fault it for maybe not taking as many risks as it otherwise would have. Like, you know, things like this, picking up a pipe and using
Yeah.
it to beat down. Like, that's very classic Streets of Rage.
Yeah.
I really did love these games when I was a kid. They were some of my favorite Genesis experiences. Because I was a Genesis kid.
Right.
I wasn't a Nintendo kid. So
Now, see, for me, a person who rarely played these games, I do see the update and everything. You know, I think it's a little bit better.
yeah,
So
I think
I
so.
don't know.
I think it's a decent upgrade. I just think that they could have gone further, making it at least faster, making it at least
Yeah.
quicker pace, something like that.
Yeah.
But anyway, that aside, Jeff Bowles Central is going to give Streets of Rage 4 a 7 out of 10. Care, what are you going to give? How many out of 10s?
I'm gonna agree with you.
You're just
gonna
going to
agree
agree with me? Oh, come on. Come on.
No.
You can't think of a different score than 7 out of 10?
Well, because it seems like a 7.
Yeah, it seems like a 7. We could go...
It's probably defining itself as a 7.
Yeah, well, I just made it so. Therefore it is. So that's it. That's Streets of Rage 4 for you, everybody. You should check it out, I think, because it's cheap. It's fun, but don't expect a major overhaul to what you remember from yesteryear, for instance.
It's nostalgic.
Hey, everybody, do us a favor. Check out this book on Amazon.com. This is God's Body, Book 1 with Fall. This is my latest novel. Sell it, Carrie!
Oh no! You always do this.
Gotta go.
All right. It's a book about giant gods that destroy each other and the aftermath of an apocalyptic desolated world.
That sounds good.
Doesn't it?
That sounds like a good book.
I know.
Maybe we should buy a copy and, like, read it together.
No, because you wrote it.
Oh. Yeah, that probably wouldn't be as enjoyable for me.
Probably not. You probably like, that's a flaw!